Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Screen Passion with DS Sports as always, and we're back with more match reports. We'll start with this one coming up, and then we've got El Clasico coming up from a Barcelona top on. It wasn't to be a great day for them today in the hosting the Clasico, but we'll go into that in another video. I need to actually rewatch the second half. Did kind of fall asleep for it. It was just basically because I was up really early this morning. That was a big problem with that one, so I need to go back, rewatch it, post the match video tomorrow. And it'll probably be around the same time as this one comes out. And yeah, missed a couple of Champions League ones just because I was going through a few things with getting my promotion at work. So that was kind of the priority. That kind of took precedence. It really tired me out, and I couldn't really do any filming during the midweek. But nonetheless, guys, not so much a historical based derby in terms of El Clasico, which we'll come on to, like I say, in the future video, but more of a geographic one in Germany with the Ruhr derby. Borussia Dortmund against Schalke is this one. Both teams very much in contrasting positions in terms of where their club's at, both on and off the field. Schalke have got big problems in both departments, really. Their form since they came back from lockdown, resumed last season, has been utterly dreadful. They were by far the worst, almost by far the worst team in the Bundesliga as a whole. You could maybe say relegated teams in there were a problem, but nonetheless they were in really bad shape, and they have continued to do so coming into this season as well. Yeah, only got one win since the start of the season. That was a home win against Paderborn, a team that is expected to be whipping boys in this league. Oh wait, they haven't started too bad. I mean, was it Paderborn? No, it's not Paderborn, is it? Oh no, it's a Paderborn in the DFB Pokal. That's what it was. I was thinking, surely they're not still in the league, are they? But no, they were handily relegated last season. So that's their only win this season. They still have yet to win in the league this season, and that form will continue. So yeah, it was kind of what we expected. I don't think anyone really expected a Schalke win today, and neither did we really threaten. There was they had a big opportunity, and Rabbi Matondo had missed from 3 yards open goal, but he was from a corner, but was later ruled out for offside. But that's kind of getting ahead of myself. We'll go into the game in just a second. Dortmund, on the other hand, started the season really well. Only the one defeat this season against, I think it was Bayern, was it? No, it wasn't Bayern. Oh yeah, no, that was Super Cup. No, it was Augsburg. They're Bavarian rivals, of course. They have lost in Bavaria twice this season. Once in the Super Cup final, a brilliant game that was, way back in the end of September, and then the weekend before that they lost against Augsburg as well. So 2 Bavarian trips, 2 defeats this season, but nonetheless they've been 100% in Germany. Midweek they went to Lazio in the Rome capital. Pretty much got punished for all the mistakes they made. They had a couple of really bad defensive errors in the beginning. Went 2-0 up, went 2-0 down very quickly. Ciro Immobile was, as usual, obviously a former Dortmund player, had a really tough time, really bad time there, and yeah, it wasn't ideal. For him, went back to last week, he's banged them in since, and you kind of expected him to score against Dortmund in the midweek, and obviously that proved to be the case. So Borussia Dortmund coming into this derby off the back of that defeat, had to make a few changes, and most importantly a system change. They had a 3-5-2 in the, oh sorry, no, not a 3-5-2, a 3-4-2-1 in the game against Lazio. Few changes in this one. Lucas Piszczek was dropped. Witsel and Bellingham were dropped, as well as was Marco Reus, the captain. Guerrero and Meunier moved into more fullback based roles, with Thomas Delaney moving further out into the midfield, and Manuel Akanji coming in. So it was Meunier, Hummels, Akanji and Guerrero in the back four. Marvin Hitz was also dropped actually. He was dropped for Roman Berkey for this game, I think, was he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was dropped. Yes, and then Thomas Delaney joined Mahmoud Dahoud, who came in the midfield. They played as a holding two. behind the free attacking midfielders of Sancho, Brandt, and goodness me, Giovanni Reina as well, and then obviously the unmistakable Erling Haaland up top. Schalke came to us one day, decided to play a three at the back. They went for a 3-4-2-1, I think, in this one. Well, no, 3-5-2 it was. So, Salif Sane, obviously the figurehead at centre back for them, he still played with Matija Nastasic as well. The front two of Gonzalo Paciencia, who they brought in from Eintracht Frankfurt, had a decent season there, but wasn't really firing as well as we might have expected. And Ravi Matondo, the young Welsh international, a former Manchester City Academy product as well. And in there you had Nabil Bentaleb in midfield as well, and some others as well. Really kind of just it's just really a squad of really unfamiliar players. You really need to gain an idea of what these players are like, and it's just not the strongest squad that Schalke have at the moment. And I think with the fact that they're very low down the table, they haven't won in the league this season, has really forced them to kind of downsize and kind of rebuild and see if they can survive more than anything, because it sounds like that's going to be the real problem for them this season, as they proved in this game. They weren't really a threat, and although they were kind of hard to break down, Dortmund created a lot of chances earlier on in this game and managed to take it to 0-0 at the break. So at that point you're thinking, well, you just don't know what might happen if the game goes on long into the way into the second half, deep into the second half. You don't know how the game might change. A couple of changes from Manuel Baum, who came in for Robert Wagner in the off season, in the later part of last season as well. You just don't know how he's maybe going to change it up. Might change the system again, might try and maybe go for it himself, but he was never really going to get that opportunity. Because Dortmund were ruthless. It's the one thing they kind of lack in relation to Dortmund, is that they're just not as clinical in certain situations. They have plenty of chances, they just don't convert them, whereas Bayern just continually hit 4, 5, 6, 7, you know. So it's, although it was fairly comfortable, it ended 3-0 in the end. Yeah, obviously it took Dortmund a long time to break down, and you know, that's just how it worked in this one. So like I say, a few good chances in the first half. Dahoud hit the bar from long range. Gio Reyna had a header wide after a brilliant cross from Reyna. Holland didn't really have so many chances. There was a chance at the back post. I think it was also for Meunier. He had a right foot shot, denied it at the near post. By Renaud. Yeah, so a few sort of middling chances, nothing really too pressing. Obviously a lot of busy work for the goalkeeper in this one. And then second half begins, and 10 minutes after the break, Manuel Akanji, after a brilliant corner routine, this was a brilliant bit of interplay between wide players. Julian Brandt was in there, and then Guerrero received the layoff from Julian Brandt, had a shot at goal, well denied by the goalkeeper, but palmed into the path of Manuel Akanji, muscling in front of two defenders and slot home the opener brilliantly. So that really kind of opened the floodgates, really, and from there you really saw obviously the connection of Sancho and Haaland. It's just incredible to watch. It's just brilliant to watch as well, to see it flow. Two brilliant young players, two players are going to be at the forefront of the game for the next 5-10 years, perhaps even more, you just don't know. Brilliant through ball from Sancho, brilliantly placed, full running Erling Haaland going piercing through the defence, and a brilliant down finish from Haaland. It was absolutely standing. The guy just knows how to finish, and it's a brilliant watch. From one centre half scoring the first goal, centre forward scoring the next, to the second centre half scoring the third, and it was a brilliant corner in this time. Can't remember who put it in. I think it was maybe Guerrero. Yeah, it was Guerrero. Guerrero, a corner on the far side, and it's just a towering header from Mats Hummels, as one might have expected. That was the third. Holland was denied brilliantly by the goalkeeper after he got onto his left foot. You normally expect Holland to perhaps go at his near post. That's kind of his go-to finish, but went for the far post. It's a great dive and save, palmed behind by the goalkeeper. That was sort of midway through the second half, but nonetheless, a typical Dortmund performance. They really dominated the game from start to finish, and you kind of didn't really expect any other outcome. So Dortmund now Champions League. They're going to look to come back off of that defeat in Rome against Lazio. We've got a home game against Zenit, who were beaten the first time out by Club Brugge. So you'd expect perhaps a good performance, and you can know what to expect from Zenit. It's kind of a team like Schalke who have they've brought in new players. They're kind of working around it, and they've got some a couple of figureheads who they can work around. Artem Zhuba being one of them in the respective Zenit. So an important game for Dortmund in that. Try and get the Champions League campaign off a win. Schalke on the other hand, I've got a few decent games coming up. Stuttgart at home, Mainz away, the only other team in the league to have not won a game in the league this season, and then Wolfsburg at home as well. But Wolfsburg have been okay, so that might not be the easiest one. So definitely Schalke need to get going this season, or else the writing might well be on the wall. Certainly for the manager, possibly for the manager, but most certainly for the club as a whole, in terms of potentially being a relegation dogfight come April, May next season. That's pretty much all I really have on this one. Dortmund will actually go into Dortmund's next game in the league. Apart from that, they go to Arminia Bielefeld, the champions of the Zweibundesliga, and then another Champions League away day against Club Brugge, and then it'll be the Klassiker in the first weekend in November. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to be looking at the Klassiker at the Signal Iduna Park, the Westfalenstadion. So apart from that, guys, that's all I really have. Actually, Dortmund are now third in the table on goal difference behind Bayern, and Leipzig are at the top at the moment. They haven't lost a game this season, whereas Bayern and Dortmund have. Like I say, Schalke at second bottom at the moment, only 1 point to their name after opening the point against Union Berlin last week, and Mainz have not even got a point yet, so they're the only team below. So it's really not looking good at the moment, but it could potentially get worse over the next few weeks. Yes, guys, okay, I can now finally wrap up the video. Thank you very much for watching. Like I say, El Clasico will be I'm going to be doing match report on El Clasico once I go and rewatch the game and refamiliarise myself. It was a fairly decent game, high quality game, but we'll talk more about that in the next one. Remember to leave a like in the video, comment anything you want, anything that you maybe saw in the game yourself, or anything about what you make, how great Dortmund are at the moment, or whatever you like, but anything at all. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. More going to be coming up. Going to be back in the Champions League for definite. Got a couple of days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I'll definitely be on the Champions League grind, getting some videos posted during the week. Till then, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. We'll see you guys very soon. You've been watching DS Sports, and we'll be back soon. Cheers.